The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the top stories of the hour. Sugarcane farmers fear of production losses due to the effects of the looming El Nino. This comes as Pagasa warns that chances of El Nino setting in as early as June have increased. The United Sugar Producers Federation, or UNIFED, says prolonged El Nino may cut local sugar production by up to 15% in the next crop season. That's equivalent to about 200,000 metric tons of sugar.
Kasi harvest season will start on September. So September, October, November, planting season na yan sa tubo. So kung mangyari yung El Nino at that time, nobody can plant. Kasi those who do not have access to the rivers and the water, hindi talaga makatanim. Kung magtagal yan ng mga 6 months, 8 months, ayaw, matay na talaga yan. Tuyong-tuyo na lahat. So, delikado.
The Sugar Regulatory Administration also raises fears of another spike in sugar prices. This as the SRA says that the cost of production will likely increase during the dry season. The SRA says it is now studying ways it can support local sugar production once the El Nino sets in. This includes providing farmers with solar pumps and conducting cloud seeding operations.
That we will have to sit with DA to come up with a budget. Kasi yung cloud seeding involves a large budget. And the SRA po runs on a corporate budget coming from the industry. So yun, we might not have the money. Si SRA po might not have the money for it. So we will need the DA's help po.
The Supreme Court has issued a writ of kalikasan to stop the commercial propagation of genetically modified rice and eggplant products. This is in relation to the petition filed by the group Magsasaka at Scientifico para sa pag-unlad ng agrikultura, or Masipag, and other petitioners. They sought a temporary environmental protection order against the commercial cultivation of golden rice and BT eggplant. The group claimed that their products are genetically modified organisms and are cause for environmental concern. Masipag welcomed the SC's move and its recognition that, quote, these genetically modified crops pose grave danger to environment and health. Despite thinning supply, President Marcos is not expecting a rice crisis to hit the country. The president said this in response to the warning of the Federation of Free Farmers of a possible rice crisis during the lean months from July to September. Marcos, who is also the agriculture chief, says he does not expect another rice crisis, but admits that the country's buffer stock is low.
Do you see this coming, sir? Another round of rice crisis?
I don't. There is a chance na ninipis talaga yung supply. Because nga magkasabay-sabayan. So we are watching and waiting to see what the production levels are going to be after the last planting season, for the harvest, for the upcoming harvest.
Marcos admits that the government wants the NFA buffer stock to last for 9 days, but the present level is only enough for 1.5 days. Marcos attributed this to weather disturbances. Still, the president assures the public that rice supply remains sufficient and that the government is closely monitoring rice production levels before the harvest season. He also remains open to importation to ensure enough supply of the staple.
So, but as it stands now, basta't swertehin tayo ng konti, hindi naman tayo masyadong mag-audit ulit o isang malaking problema sa whatever, the fertilizer will change its prices again.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. An official of the Philippine National Police says there will be a major reshuffling within the Drug Enforcement Group. This comes after the recommendation of criminal and administrative charges against more than 40 police officers over the pilferage of some 42 kilos from a Shabu haul of more than 900 kilograms in October 2022. Major General Eliseo Cruz, chief of the PNP Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management, says they did not know that such a system had been deeply embedded in a drug enforcement group. However, Cruz said the PNP will hold accountable all officers involved in illegal drugs. Cruz also says the PNP is now preparing the cases against the 49 officers involved in the pilferage after confirming inconsistencies between their testimonies and the available CCTV footage. The Immigration Bureau is set to deploy 147 newly hired immigration officers for on-site training at Danaiya starting Monday next week. BI Commissioner Norman Tancinco says the new officers will augment the agency's manpower at the country's main gateway amid the height of their travel season this summer. Tancinco adds that the move will help improve the agency's service and ensure that immigration protocols to prevent trafficking are carried out properly. Once the officers complete their training, they will be distributed to different airports and BI offices nationwide. Manila Times tech and business editor Jing Garcia warns the public against using public USB charging stations in malls, hotels, and other business establishments. Speaking to Radyo 5's Ted Filon and DJ Chacha, Garcia says these stations could be used for hacking of devices like cell phones, tablets, and laptops, especially if the port is connected to the internet LAN or local area network. The Manila Times editor says establishments may use these charging ports for data gathering, but warns that this could also lead to identity theft. The US FBI has earlier issued its own warning against the use of public phone charging stations to avoid exposing devices to malicious software. Garcia now advises the public to click Don't Allow when their devices ask them permission to connect or share data or to simply bring their own chargers.
Di ba tinatanong ka rin ng computer mo, ng laptop mo, do you trust this browser or do you trust this connection? Yan yung mga security precautions din ng mga smartphone companies para to protect the user.
Okay.
Na hindi basta-basta trusted yung mga sinasaksakan. Pero ka safest talaga, yung model ka ng sarili mong charger.
Power
yung
bank.
Plug yung power bank.
And that's it for this hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. We are One News. All sides, all the time.